Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What I am going to do today is I'm going to take you through my spring and summer essentials. Some people may say, okay, well, why would you need different products for spring and summer? And I will go into that as I explain each item that I'm going to talk about today. Because different things are better during the summer if you have oily skin or combination skin as I do, compared to during the winter time. Because as we get older, our skin kind of freaks out a little bit. It could change. It could go from being excessively oily to being somewhat dry, oily in spots, dry in spots, combination. That's where my combination skin comes into play. So that is my type of skin, so I'm telling you from the combination skin standpoint, or even oily skin, because all these will work for oily skin as well. So, and these could work for dry skin, I'm sure as well, but like I said, this is more geared towards oily to combo, or combo to oily, rather. So, we're going to jump on in here and let's get started. Alright, now I'm going to talk about hair first. One thing that I do recommend is during the summertime, it's best to give your hair a break from the heat, as in from adding heat to it. Now I know that there's products out there, I have never tried them, mind you, but I know that there are products out there that are meant for like sun protection for the hair. But I've never tried them, like I said. But you can even use a coconut oil on your hair, because coconut oil, from what I understand, if you get the unrefined version, I've heard that that has a natural sunscreen to it. So that's something you can get if you want at least a light sunscreen. I don't remember where I heard that it has sunscreen protection to it. Not a whole lot of it, but it does have a little bit, so I'm told. Because I was looking up natural tanners one time that I could put on to go outside and tan. Which I know. Tanning is not good for you. But I'm guilty. But another product that I do recommend for giving your hair that break from the heat is the Suave Sea Minerals Infusion Texturizing Sea Salt Spray. Now, I've tried other brands of this. I've tried the Aussie Scrunch Spray. I've tried the Not Your Mother Spray. For the price, this right here is the best deal. I mean, you get quite a bit. It doesn't take nearly as much as, say, the Not Your Mother's or, well, the Aussie Scrunch one is good too, but unfortunately, it gets clogged a lot easier than this does. But this right here, what you would do is you just take it, and I do it on damp hair. I don't do it on dry hair usually, but I'll do it on damp hair. You just spritz some on there and really scrunch your hair up. If you want to see a video on how to scrunch hair, let me know in the comments down below, because I can do that. Just some people want to know, other people really couldn't care less. But especially if you have layers to it, a good scrunching spray or sea salt spray, texturizing spray, is a good thing to have for your hair. Now, other things that I would say for your hair to have, of course, some kind of scrunchie. Yes, if you grew up in the 90s, scrunchies are making their way back. And I love scrunchies. I really do. I have one in my hair right now. At the very bottom at least. But a scrunchie really does help to get your hair off your face and out of the way and everything. Let me see here if I have something else here. Yeah, I do. Now, another thing you can use, this one's a little dirty, but is another type of hair tie. You can get these from Walmart, Dollar Tree, wherever, but you want to make sure that they don't have the metal to them, because metal on a hair tie is detrimental to your hair. And during the summertime, you might be swimming, you might be doing whatever, and your hair is wet even from sweat. We don't want to add to the problems by stretching it out using one, or breaking it more with the metal thing to it. So, something like this, you know, type of hair tie. Now this is one of the flat ones that I do like the flat ones better than the regular, but that's just my personal preference. Now let's talk about skincare for a moment. Now for me, during the summertime especially, I tend to break out more. Whether I'm outside and whatnot, you know, my face just goes nuts because of all the oil production, because of sweating so much, all that stuff. So one thing I do like to use is the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. It's oil free, moisturizes dry skin, treats and helps prevent pimples. Now this right here, if you do have combination skin, this does work wonders. I love this stuff. The Equate version of this from Walmart does work just as well. I'm sure that the Walgreens version, if you have Walgreens by you, I'm sure it works just as well. But I know for a fact that the Equate version does work just as well as this. But this here, it does seem to really help with breakouts during the summer months. So I say grab it. Keep it in your arsenal. Even if you're not wearing makeup, you know, make sure, or especially if you are wearing makeup, make sure this is underneath, because it will help keep oil at bay. For me, at least it does. But it also helps to add a little bit of moisture back to my skin. Now that we've talked about hair and pimples, basically, let's talk about sun protection. I've already talked about that for the hair. Well, you need it for the skin too, y'all. You might not think, you know, you may think, oh, I'm dark enough, I don't need sun protection. Or, oh, I don't go outside that much. Well, you need sun protection even if you're just going out to check the mailbox. You know, even a little bit of sun coming in through the windows or whatever. That does count, from what I've been learning. Now this right here is the Equate All Day Moisturizing Lotion Broad Spectrum SPF 15 Sunscreen Sensitive Skin. That's the one I have here. Now this is compared to the Olay Complete All Day Moisture Lotion. This here, you can get it at Walmart, and it really is a good deal. You know, I believe you can still get it. I've had mine for a little while yet. And if you do have acne, or prone to acne even, I sometimes will actually mix these before I put them on my skin. Like I'll mix it on the back of my hand or in my hands even. Do a pump or two, well, a pump of this, a little squirt of this, mix it together, slap it on. And one thing, let your moisturizer sit for a little while before you do add any makeup, because that just lets it sink in all that much more. That's just a general tip, no matter whether it's summer, winter, fall, spring, whatever. Because the spring months, the weather is changing, it's getting warmer, things are heating up, you know, so you need something to protect your skin and all that. Now let's jump in. I've got most of my products here, except one product, I believe. Yeah, one product in this bag here. If you saw my Shop Miss A haul, then you saw that bag. But let's talk about foundation for a moment. Now, we're not going to go in any special order. I'm just kind of grabbing out of this bag. But I do have the bases right here. So, I have 3 different ones that I do swear by. Now, this one here, the Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation, this is a really good lightweight, very lightweight foundation. I mean, it's like consistency of, well, a little bit thicker, I guess, than water. I mean, it's got the little teardrop shaped thing. I mean, you can see how liquidy that is, or how shiny it looks. But this right here feels like it's pure silk going on your face. I love the feeling of this. This is not my current shade, because I'm too pale for this, but I will show you right here. You know, it does it is so pretty. I don't know if you can tell how fluid that is, really. But, you know, it just feels so good going on. That right there. And it does give a natural, what I consider a natural glow to the skin. It's not going to make me overly greasy. Now, that's one that I absolutely have to powder. Well, pretty much all these during the summer especially, I have to powder. So, but during the springtime, I might not have to powder this. Because spring, it is more dewy, luminous, glow type stuff. But I still like to put the glow where I want it, not where the product wants it. So, but that is the Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation by Maybelline. Then I also have, yes, I love Maybelline products, by the way, especially their face products. This is the Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream. Now this is in medium deep. It's not my shade either. I don't have the medium shade like I usually wear, but I've got other BB creams. That's how dark that is. That's medium deep. So, you know, but this here, I don't believe it has, it doesn't say that it has SPF to it, so I don't think it does. And the BB creams that I enjoy, especially during the summer and springtime, don't have SPF. BB creams are hard to find anyway for oily skin girls like myself, or combo skin girls like myself, because they can add to the oil. So this right here, the Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream, this really is a good product because it does have salicylic acid in it as well, which does help with acne. So, I mean, if you need something that is more lightweight, more natural, I mean, it doesn't have heavy-duty coverage. The lightest coverage, I would say, was the Fluid Touch. Then this is what I'd consider more medium coverage, the Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream. You know, it's not exactly full-on coverage, but it's not barely there coverage either. You know, so it's a happy medium between the two. Because the next product I'm going to talk about, and if you've been with my channel for very long, you know that this is a huge favorite of mine anyway, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I love this stuff. And if you've, like I said, if you've been with my channel for very long, you know that. I used a rag here to wipe off the back of my hand. Now this also has the little applicator to it, which is nice, very nice. I like the applicators in the products like this and the Fluid Touch. This does have fuller coverage. It tends to stay a lot better. I mean, I have cried with this stuff on, and it still stayed put. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's waterproof, necessarily, but it's, I haven't tested it. You know, I'm thinking of doing a test with waterproof products, and let me know in the comments down below if that's something you want to see as well. Would you like to see a waterproof challenge where I buy a bunch of products that either claim to be waterproof or that I feel are waterproof, that are budget friendly, whether they're from Shop Miss A, whether it's from Amazon, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, BH Cosmetics, Coastal Scents, you know, any of those. And I can test out products and let you know, are they really waterproof? Are they really? So, but, you know, that right there is the main face products. Like for foundation. Now then, if you do have oily skin or combination skin, I highly recommend powder. And I have two different ones here. One is a loose powder, and this is really a great powder. It is the Coty Airspun powder. I also love the, I don't have it in this bag, but I also love the Shop Miss A AOA Studio powder, the translucent one, the very first one they ever came out with. It does have a glow to it though, so if you're wanting a more matte powder, the Coty Airspun powder is the best deal. You know, I think it's only like $6 too, so you can't, for as big of a thing as you get of it. But I have heard that this does have a fragrance to it, like, I've heard it compared to people say that it's the old lady smell, you know, so if you can't stand strong fragrances or whatever, this might not be for you. But I can't smell anyway, so it don't bother me. But I do love that powder for baking, for all over setting, especially during the summertime, because it really does keep oil at bay. And the Shop Miss A one, it's $1 that I mentioned, that also helps keep things at bay, but it adds glow to the skin, so that might not be something you necessarily want to add to your skin, and that's okay if you don't. Then the other one I've got here is the L'Oreal True Match Powder. The shade I have is W4. Now this right here, if you want to go no foundation day, like you just want to do a little bit of concealer, a little bit of, you know, touch-up work, then throw on the powder, this is the real deal. Emily Noel 83, she has talked about this powder and saying that it's pretty close to a powder foundation. I believe it. So if you want a decent powder with a little bit of extra coverage, or you just want to carry something in your purse for if you need to touch up oily areas, or maybe your foundation is breaking down, because that is a common problem during the summertime. Your foundation can break down, or your concealer can break down and break apart. Believe me, I've had it happen. Yeah. But this right here is a great product. I recommend it, but it is a little higher priced. I am looking to find a cheaper alternative. Whenever I say it's higher priced, I mean it's like $8-9, something like that. 7, 8, 9. I mean, that's higher price. Now the Coty, that's like $6, but you get such a big amount. And the Wet n Wild foundation, almost all these that I've mentioned, the foundation wise, they're about $6. So, and then, let's see here, what else we got in here. Alright, now then, let's talk about some glow. What do you say? I've got 3 different products here, you know, and trust me, I could go on and on and on about glow. Let's glow, let's glow. You know, of course you can't tell that I like my glow at all. You know, you can't tell at all. Yeah, I don't wear any highlight, don't you know? Yeah, with the highlight beaming at you. Yeah, I love my highlight. I love a strong highlight, especially. But not everybody wants a strong highlight that is BAM! In your face. Glow. So, that is where the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette, this is I believe a $6 palette, got a huge mirror here, right here. That's where this can come in. It does have a more soft glow. It has 4 different colors here. It's got like a pinky shade right here. It's got a white looking shade. It's got a champagne shade, and then like a peachy shade. That's all 4 shades. I mean, and I think it's only like $6. So I'm going to swatch all these out for you here. And all of them, I know it looks intimidating like this, but you're not going to put it on that thick whenever you're doing your highlight. You're going to use a brush and really blend it out. So, you know, and if you want to make it more intense, you just spritz your brush with some spray of some kind. And I do believe, yeah, I do have one. You know, and that does help. So, you know, I'm looking here in front of me to see what else I've got that I didn't talk about, or that I forgot to talk about. So, but yeah, then I've got 2 other highlights here And they're both actually pretty bam in your face highlights. This right here is one by Shop Miss A, and it's in the shade Fairy. This is a $1 highlight right here. Looks like that. Go ahead and swatch this one. I mean, to me, I'm planning on comparing them and all that stuff, but to me it kind of looks like Champagne Pop. And then this one here is by e.l.f. It's a $2 one. You know, and do a quick swatchy swatch for you. Right there. I mean, the e.l.f. one, whenever I shear it out, it really is more wearable. So if you wanted a cheap highlight, the e.l.f. one. But if you want a more bold in your face, the Shop Miss A. So Shop Miss A does have some good Wonder Baked highlights. So if you need a good bam in your face highlight, check them out. But the the e.l.f. one here, let me kind of blend this out a little bit more. I mean, I'm just blending that out a little bit. You know, you can tell it would just give a glow. I didn't blend the Shop Miss A one, but you can see there's just adds a little luminosity to the area. So that is the e.l.f. one. So it would be more subtle. Another brand that I used to use as a highlight is the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. I did used to own that, and that was really good too. But I'd say bang for your buck, either the Shop Miss A or this big palette by e.l.f. because I have heard that this is a dupe for the ambient lighting palette. Back in the day, that was really popular, so I've heard that that's a dupe for that. Now then, let's talk about other face products before I get into some other stuff. These two items right here, okay? Now, I do recommend using a primer in general, whether it is a mattifying primer like the Rimmel Stay Matte primer, or whether it is a glowy one, like to illuminate, you know, to give a little bit of life back to your skin, like the AOA Studio Illuminating Primer. Or if you're using a really matte foundation, but yet you have some really dry areas, this right here, the NYX First Base Primer Spray, this actually is pretty good. And you can also use this just to kind of liven up your makeup later on. I mean, yes, I spray quite a bit whenever I do spray it. But, I mean, it's not a huge spray usually, so, you know, and it just adds a little bit extra dewiness to the skin. Now, another one that is good, I do like the original of this as well, is the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set. You know, now I personally don't notice it mattifying as much. Like if I take my hand here, woo, sprayed myself right in the face again. You know, let it dry a little bit. Sprayed a little bit too much that time, but you know, but it'll dry and then we'll check it here in a moment maybe. But to me, I haven't noticed a huge mattifying effect. Like I did get some on my face, and my highlight here is still bam in your face. So, but it does seem to help keep oil at bay more. So it's not going to take away from your glowy highlight, but it seems to help keep oil at bay more. So I do like that aspect of it. So during the spring, whenever things are changing, allergies are going nuts, it locks my makeup in, and it keeps my makeup looking good. You know, so during the winter time, yeah, it still would help, but if you have more dry skin, it would really dry you out. Because I have some dry spots on my face, and if I spray that all over my face during this wintertime, it causes issues. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's get into the rest of this goodies here. Now then, we've got a concealer. Now, I recently did a review on this anyway. It is the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer. This right here, it's supposed to be waterproof. I haven't tested it yet. Not full-on tested it, at least. So, you know, I can't say for sure that this would hold up to heavy duty, like jumping in the pool, jumping in a downpour would work, but I know sweating, it works. And another foundation that actually still looks pretty decent after sweating even is the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. I recently did a review on that and did a wear test on that as well. So, you know, that really is a good thing. And then I've got just a few other products here that I wanted to talk about. Most of them are eye products. I believe all of them are eye products. Yeah, all of them that are left pretty much are eye products. So, I'm not going to really go in any special order necessarily. Well, I will try to, but yeah. But the next thing I would recommend is a good eye base. Whenever it's getting summertime and springtime and all that, it's important to have a good base for your shadows to cling to. So I personally like the Essence I Love Stage primer. This is fairly cheap from Ulta.com. So I Love Stage. It is a good primer. I think it's only like $3, something like that. Whenever I got it, at least. But an eye primer during the spring and summer seems to work better than just using a plain Jane concealer. Concealer does work, mind you, but eye primer seems to grab onto that shadow better in the summertime and springtime than it does, you know, well, it does well in the winter too, but concealer will work just fine as well in the winter and fall times. Then I also highly recommend, now this is especially if you're wanting to do a real quick look. Let me know if you do want like a spring get ready with me, like 10 minutes or less basic makeup look. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see something like that, because this is one thing I do use whenever I do that. It is the e.l.f. Molten Liquid eyeshadow in Rose Gold. Now I typically use this and put it on my lid area, blend it out with my finger, and then if I want to add a little something extra, I will add the L'Oreal Infallible Amber Rush. But just the liquid eyeshadow on its own does work for me. So if you want something quick, one and done, bam! That is a good product. So, and it doesn't really crease on me either, which is a good thing. Most liquid products or cream products during the summertime, if you do not set them, can crease really bad. Or if you say, I don't know, I'm wanting to go more cream products, because sometimes in the springtime people will say, oh, you ought to use a cream blush, a cream whatever. If you have oily skin, don't do it, it's a crap, you know. So I would say, just if you want to use a liquid like this on your eyes at least, that's okay, especially if they're, you know, not oily lids. If you have oily lids, you have to set this, at least with a translucent powder or something. But this right here is a good product, even as an eye base, before you put on other shadows as well. And I've already showed you the L'Oreal Infallible and Amber Rush. That is one of my go-to holy grail shadows, especially during the summer, you know, because sometimes I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. I let my skin breathe more in the hotter months, because let's face it, sometimes it can just get too hot wearing makeup. Then the other eyeshadow thing I have here is the CoverGirl Nudes palette. Now, there's all sorts of nudes palettes out there. You can get the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells, the new one. That works just fine too. I love that one. But something like this here, the CoverGirl Nudes palette, you've got all your basics for a more natural, subtle look. Because I know during the summer especially, if I'm tanning especially, I like to go more natural, you know, or at least look like I'm going natural. Now, yeah, I still might throw on some good highlight. Come on now. Come on now. I gotta have my bling bling. But the CoverGirl Nudes palette, this right here really is a decent palette. It's got some real pretty shades to it. It's got like real pretty pinks. It's got a good, one of the best blacks I've seen from, well, it's not even really a black, but, you know, but still, it's a really decent pigmented shadow, either way, you know. But this right here is a good palette to have on hand for this time of the year especially, because it does do more natural looks. It would even be fine over that Essence primer. It would be fine over that liquid eyeshadow that I showed you. I've even used that in combination with the Amber Rush. So, you know, that does work. It really does, y'all. And if I do use the liquid shadow, by the way, I don't usually use an eye primer with that, because the liquid shadow will act as my primer. Then I also highly recommend a good waterproof mascara. Now this right here that I showed recently in my, well, actually I haven't put it up yet whenever this is going up, but this is the Essence I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. This is a product you can get from Ulta. Almost all these products, I believe, you can get on Ulta.com. I believe. Actually, yeah. I think the only one I don't know about for sure is the Coty Airspun Powder and the Suave hair stuff. But, well, and the Equate, of course, because that's Walmart brand. But the Essence I Love Extreme, you'll be seeing a video if you subscribe to my channel coming up. It might be tomorrow, it might be in a couple of days, of this eye look that I have going on right now. And I used this mascara to do it. So, whoops, I'm throwing stuff. And then there's only two other products that I have in here, and one of them, actually both of them, can be liners. Now this one right here is the Rimmel Scandalized Liner. If you saw my recent, I forget what I called it, my YouTube Made Me Buy It video, I think. This right here is one that I believe I had in there. If not, then I'm surprised. And then this other thing right here, this is the, I believe it's the brow and liner stuff that you can get from e.l.f. Unfortunately, e.l.f. doesn't put the names on things necessarily. Or if they do, it's so little. It's like black writing on almost black product inside it. So it's like, seriously? You don't want me to know what it is till it's completely gone, eh? I mean, if that's even the name of it. But this right here is what I like to use on my brows, typically. But you can, like I said, you can use this as a liner as well. You want a good, staying brow product or liner. You want something that is waterproof, is not going to budge, is not going to melt off your face, because I have used some brow products, believe it or not. There are brow products out there. You use those, it'll melt right off your face. You're outside in a hot day, whatever, and all of a sudden you see your brows, you look in the mirror, like you go into the bathroom or whatever, you look in the mirror and you see your brows just dripping down the side of your face. Or you go and you're wiping sweat, off your face like this, and all of a sudden you pull your hand away and you've got black from your mascara running because you didn't have waterproof mascara. Or, shoot, I have even had it to where, because I wasn't wearing waterproof liner at that time, I have had it to where I've been so hot one time, because I've spent a lot of time outside last summer. I was so hot, and I'd have my eyes open like this, and if I really looked up, whenever I went in and looked, I had like a line right here above my crease where my mascara, or where my eyeliner had transferred to my upper lid because it was not waterproof. True story, y'all. True story. So, that right there are the main products that I would say I can't say I gotta have, because I've got a lot of products, but, they're items that I do recommend for spring and summertime. There are also other products that I'm going to be talking about in coming days, week, whatever. Spring and summer lip products. What I would recommend as far as colors for during the spring and summer, for lips. Because different colors are better, in my opinion, at different times of the year. During the spring, eye-wise at least, more natural, neutral colors, or your pastels, like what I've got on my eyes now. This is the My Little Pony palette that I used on this eye look that you'll see coming up in the next day or two, probably. I gotta edit it still. So, but that's this look right here. Pastels are more appropriate, in my opinion, for springtime. Bold colors, like, I don't know, I read rather, even that bright yellow is going to be really popular this year. Let me know if you want to see me try to do a bright yellow eye look, because I do have one of the Maybelline Color Tattoo Pigment shadows that's a bright yellow color. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to see me attempt to do something with that, because that could get interesting. So, but I've got a lot of things planned, a lot of things coming up, so I do hope you subscribe for those. I hope that you join me over on Facebook in the Blind Beauty support group that I'll try to link down below, because I do have a group that we basically just talk about drugstore products, drugstore and affordable products, whether it's dupes, whether it's looks, whether it's whatever the case may be. Questions can be asked about what I would recommend or how to do this or that. You might get previews of what's coming up here on YouTube. So I hope you join me over there. I also have a Blind Beauty Facebook page, as well as a Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, all that jazz. And my blog, of course, so I do hope to get to know some of y'all. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. My top 5 videos linked below are New Maybelline City Mini Palette Review and Demo, What's in My Purse, Garnier Argan Oil and Cranberry Extract Review, Get Ready With Me Easy Natural Drugstore First Video, Styling My Short Bob.